Mrs. Chen handed me Lily's field trip permission packet at STEM Academy pickup, pointed to the signature line, and asked if my wife had remarried. I stared at her. Around us, other parents herded their kids toward minivans and SUVs, backpacks bouncing, voices calling out about soccer practice and who wanted McDonald's. Normal Tuesday afternoon chaos. But Mrs. Chen wasn't moving. She stood there holding this orange cardboard packet, her careful teacher fingers pointing at page 3 like it might burn her. "I'm sorry," I said. My voice sounded far away. "The signature, Mr. Brooks." She flipped the packet so I could see it clearly. The cardboard was that distinctive school orange color, rough under your fingertips, smelling like photocopier toner. Heavy-duty staple punching through all 7 pages. Derek Walsh, father. I read the signature line once, twice, 5 times, hoping the letters would rearrange themselves into Christina's name, but they didn't. Derek Walsh, father. The words made no sense. I was standing in a school parking lot in Muller, Austin, Texas, holding my 7-year-old daughter's field trip form, but the ground felt unstable. Mr. Brooks," Mrs. Chen's voice was gentle, "is there something about Lily's family situation I should know?" Lily tugged on my hand. "Daddy, can we go? I'm hungry." I looked down at my daughter, blonde ponytail, gap-toothed smile, purple backpack with the unicorn keychain I'd bought her at the Science Museum last month. My daughter, my family. "Who's Derek Walsh?" I asked. Mrs. Chen's expression shifted. Not pity, something worse. Concern mixed with guilt, like she just revealed something she shouldn't have. I thought you knew, Mr. Brooks. The signature's been on her form since September." September. That was 5 months ago. I looked at the packet again. STEM Academy Austin Space Center field trip in bold letters. Medical release, photo waiver, emergency contact update, all standard. Except, page 3, where someone who wasn't me had signed as Lily's father. "I'll look into this," I said. The words came out flat, mechanical, software engineer brain trying to process data that didn't compute. "Thank you for bringing it to my attention." Mrs. Chen nodded slowly. "Of course. I'm sorry if It's fine." I folded the packet, the pages making that dry, rustling sound. "We're fine." But we weren't fine. I didn't know anyone named Derek Walsh. In the car, Lily chattered about her day. Something about butterflies in science class. I made the right noises, asked the right questions, but my mind was replaying Mrs. Chen's words. The signature's been on her forms since September. I signed up for forever when I married Christina. That's what vows mean, right? Till death do us part. I'd moved from Seattle to Austin for her real estate career. Left my friends, my family, my beloved rainy city for Texas sun and her dreams. We were partners. We were building a life. At home, I helped Lily with her snack. Apple slices with peanut butter, her favorite. Christina was at a late showing, again. Real estate had been booming lately. Evenings, weekends. She was always showing properties. Busy season, she'd said. I'd been proud of her success. After Lily settled in front of the TV with her juice box, I opened my laptop. The blue Indeed.com case was familiar, comforting, work laptop, stable career, logical problems with logical solutions. I logged into the STEM Academy parent portal. There were 4 more forms with Derek Walsh's signature. 4 more times, spanning 8 months, where someone else had signed as my daughter's father on official school documents. This wasn't a mistake. This was a pattern. I waited until Lily was in bed. 8 o'clock. Christina's showing was running late. "Big client," she'd texted. "Might be 10 p.m. Sorry, babe." I started in the bathroom. I don't know why. Maybe because it was Christina's space. Her makeup, her perfume, her morning routine I'd watched for 8 years. If there was something hidden, it wouldn't be in the obvious places. The master bathroom drawer stuck slightly when I pulled it open. Inside, hair ties, travel-sized products, a tangle of charging cables for her electric toothbrush, and a watch. Gold, heavy, expensive. I picked it up. Rolex Submariner, yellow gold with green face. The kind of watch I'd never buy, could never afford on a software engineer's salary. The metal was cold in my palm, heavier than you'd expect, maybe 150 grams. The bezel clicked when I turned it, this satisfying mechanical sound like a premium camera shutter. I flipped it over. Engraved on the back, professionally etched letters I could trace with my fingertip. To Derek, love always. C. Anniversary 2024. The smell hit me then. Expensive cologne, woody, masculine, not mine. I stood there in my bathroom, holding $12,000 of our money transformed into a love token for a man whose name I'd learned an hour ago. My hands started shaking. I put the watch back exactly where I'd found it, closed the drawer, walked back to the living room like a zombie. My laptop was still open on the coffee table, the school portal still showing Derek Walsh's signatures marching across 8 months of my daughter's paperwork. I clicked through to financial records, our joint credit card. Surely there'd be an explanation. Maybe Derek was a work colleague. Maybe Christina had bought the watch as a corporate gift, something for a big client. There it was. September 15th, 2024, James Avery Jewelers, $12,000. Our anniversary is October 3rd, 2 weeks after Christina bought that watch for someone else. I'd given her a necklace that year, sterling silver with a small diamond pendant. $200 carefully saved. She'd smiled when she opened it, kissed me, said it was perfect. She'd spent 60 times that amount on Derek's watch. With my money. With our money. I kept clicking. There was more. An apartment deposit, $3,500. December the 1st, the notation said security deposit, Eastside condos. We owned our house in Muller. Why would Christina be putting down a deposit on an apartment? My phone buzzed. Christina, showing went great. Clients putting in an offer. Be home in 30. Love you. Love you. I stared at those 2 words until they stopped meaning anything. Lily's voice startled me. Daddy, I can't sleep. I closed the laptop quickly. She was standing in her pajamas, clutching Mr. Snuggles, her worn purple teddy bear. Bad dream, baby? No, can I ask you something? I pulled her onto my lap. She smelled like strawberry shampoo and toothpaste. 7 years old, 2nd grade, science fair coming up, normal childhood, normal life. Everything I'd wanted to give her. Of course, what's up? Why doesn't Mommy want you to meet her friend? My heart stopped. What friend, Lily? Mr. Derek. She said it so casually, like she was talking about her teacher or the librarian. He's nice. He bought me ice cream after my science fair. But Mommy said it's a secret that he comes to school sometimes. I tried to keep my voice steady. Mr. Derek comes to your school? Sometimes, when Mommy picks me up, he has a nice pen. I asked about it once. Mommy got mad. The pen, silver, cross-brand. I'd seen it on our coffee table last week. Assumed Christina had brought work materials home. Lily, when did you first meet Mr. Derek? She thought about it, tilting her head the way she does when she's trying to remember something important. Maybe my birthday? No, before that. When we went to the zoo, Mommy said he was her friend from work. Our anniversary trip to the zoo, last May, 9 months ago. Does Mr. Derek ever come to the house? I don't think so, only at school, and one time at the doctor when I got my flu shot. You were at work for that conference thing. Seattle. I'd been in Seattle for a company conference in November. Christina took Lily to her pediatrician appointment. Derek had been there. Okay, sweetie. I kissed the top of her head. You're not in trouble. I'm just trying to understand. Can you do Daddy a favor? If Mr. Derek comes around, just tell me, okay? It's not a secret anymore. Okay, Daddy. She hugged Mr. Snuggles tighter. Are you mad at Mommy? No, baby, I'm not mad. I just need to talk to her about some grown-up stuff. Like when Emma's parents talked and then Emma's daddy moved out? Emma, her classmate whose parents divorced last year. I don't know yet, Lily, but no matter what, Daddy's not going anywhere, I promise. She nodded and let me carry her back to bed. As I tucked her in, she said quietly, I don't really like Mr. Derek, Daddy. He's nice, but he's not you. After she fell asleep, I stood in her doorway for a long time, watching her breathe. Christina came home at 10:47 p.m. I heard the garage door, her heels clicking on the tile, the jingle of her keys hitting the bowl by the door. Nathan, you still up? I was sitting in the living room, in the dark, the orange permission packet and my laptop open in front of me, screen brightness turned down low. We need to talk. She came around the corner, still in her work clothes, pencil skirt, silk blouse, that red leather portfolio she carried to showings. Compass Realty logo embossed in gold. She looked beautiful, tired, but beautiful. Is everything okay? Is Lily's fine. I turned the laptop so she could see the screen. Who's Derek Walsh? Even in the dim light, I saw her face change. Not shock, not confusion, just calculation. Like she was running through scenarios, deciding which story to tell. What are you talking about? Derek Walsh. I held up the orange packet. The man who's been signing Lily's school forms as her father for the past 8 months. That Derek Walsh. She set down her portfolio. Carefully. Too carefully. Nathan, I can explain. You spent $12,000 of our money on a Rolex for your anniversary with him. September 15th, 2 weeks before our actual anniversary. Her hand went to her throat. Defensive gesture. Caught. It's not... You don't understand. Then help me understand. My voice was still calm, eerily calm. The software engineer in me wanted data, wanted logic, wanted this to make sense somehow. Help me understand why my daughter's teacher asked me today if you remarried. Help me understand why there's a man I've never heard of signing legal documents for our child. Help me understand the apartment deposit. Christina's eyes widened. You went through our finances? You went through our marriage. I stood up, and I still don't know when it ended. Was it May, when Lily first met him, or September, when you bought him an anniversary gift, or was it earlier? How long, Christina? She opened her mouth, closed it. Tears started forming, but I couldn't tell if they were real. He's just, he's an old friend from college, Northwestern. He came back to Austin last year. I don't care about his resume. I picked up my laptop, pulled up the school portal. 4 forms, 4 times you let another man pretend to be Lily's father. Mrs. Chen thought I knew. She thought we had some arrangement. Do you understand how that felt? You're never available during the day. Her voice rose, defensive. You're always at Indeed, always in meetings. Derek was just helping. Helping. I laughed. It sounded bitter, foreign. Is that what we're calling it? It's not like that. I clicked to my email, pulled up the message I'd found from the school. Then explain this. Email from you to Mrs. Chen, dated October 10th. Please add Derek Walsh as Lily's stepfather to all school records. Christina's face went pale. Stepfather, Christina, you made it official. You told her school that I'd been replaced. Nathan, how long? I asked again. And don't lie to me. I've been lied to enough. She sank onto the couch, covered her face with her hands. When she spoke, her voice was muffled. Since last March, the alumni event, he was there, and we started talking about old times, about what could have been. He broke up with me senior year, and I always wondered, last March, 14 months of lying, of pretending, of late showings and busy seasons, while she rebuilt a relationship with her college ex-boyfriend and systematically integrated him into our daughter's life. I want you to leave, I said quietly. What? Nathan, no, we can work through this. You forged my parental authority. You committed fraud on legal documents. You spent $12,000 of marital funds on your lover. You brought him to our daughter's doctor's appointments. My voice was still calm, but something inside me was cracking. You told her to keep him secret from me. She's 7 years old, Christina. 7. And you taught her that families have secrets. I never meant... I don't care what you meant. I looked at her, really looked at her. Tried to find the woman I'd married, the woman I'd moved to Austin for, the woman I'd built a life with. But she was gone. Maybe she'd been gone since March. Maybe longer. I want you to leave. Tonight. Go to Derek's. Go to a hotel. I don't care. But you're not sleeping in this house. You can't kick me out of my own home. Watch me. I picked up her portfolio, handed it to her. The red leather was cool, smelled expensive, just like everything she'd chosen over us. Take what you need for a few days. The rest we'll figure out through lawyers. She stared at me, and then finally she stopped pretending. Fine. She stood up, grabbed her portfolio. You're being ridiculous. Derek and I we haven't. Stop. I held up my hand. Just stop. I found the burner phone in your purse, Christina. The one with only his number. 9 months of texts. I know exactly what you've been doing. That was a bluff. I hadn't found a burner phone, but the way her face went white told me everything. Get out, I said, and now. She left, grabbed a suitcase, threw some clothes in it, and left without saying goodbye to Lily. I locked the door behind her and stood in the empty house, holding that orange permission packet with Derek Walsh's signature, wondering how you start putting together a life that someone else has been methodically dismantling for over a year. That's when I called my dad. Nathan, it's almost midnight. Is everything... Can you come to Austin? My voice cracked, finally. After hours of careful control, it cracked. Dad, I need help. Christina's been... I need help. I'm booking a flight right now. I'll be there by morning. Thank you. Nathan. His voice was firm, steady. The voice that had guided me through scraped knees and first heartbreaks and college anxiety. You're going to be okay. Lily's going to be okay. I promise. I wanted to believe him, but sitting there in my house, our house, surrounded by evidence of my wife's double life, all I could think about was that signature on page 3. Derek Walsh, father. And I wondered how long it would take before that became true in ways that mattered more than paperwork. Dad arrived at 6 a.m. I heard his rental car pull into the driveway while I was making Lily's breakfast. Scrambled eggs, toast, orange juice. The routine was the only thing keeping me together. He didn't say anything when I opened the door, just pulled me into a hug, the kind of hug that says I know without words. He smelled like airplane coffee and Old Spice, and for a moment I was 8 years old again, crying because my bike chain broke and I couldn't fix it. Lily awake? He asked quietly. Getting dressed. Dad, I don't know how to... We'll figure it out, one step at a time. He set down his bag. Inside was a frame, wooden, hand-carved. Brought this for her room. Cedar, Texas bluebonnets, made it last month. I took it, heavy, real wood. You could feel the knife marks, the roughness that comes from hand tools instead of machines. It smelled like his workshop in Seattle, like home. Thanks, Dad. That's what family looks like, Nathan. People who show up. Remember that. At 8:30, my phone rang. STEM Academy, Principal Reeves. Mr. Brooks, could you come in today? We need to discuss. There's been a situation. What kind of situation? I'd rather explain in person. Would 11 o'clock work? I looked at Dad. He nodded. I'll take Lily to school and pick her up. You go. Principal Reeves's office smelled like coffee and stress. She sat behind her desk, Dr. Monica Reeves, 49, 10 years running STEM Academy, usually unflappable. Today she looked rattled. Mrs. Chen was there too. And Pam Rodriguez, the school secretary. They all wore identical expressions, guilt mixed with concern. Mr. Brooks, thank you for coming. Dr. Reeves gestured to a chair. I'll be direct. After Mrs. Chen brought the permission packet issue to my attention, I conducted an internal review. What we found is troubling. She slid something across the desk. A laminated ID badge, silver border. Volunteer parent, Derek Walsh, with a professional headshot, school logo, magnetic strip on the back. Mr. Walsh has been registered as an authorized volunteer for 6 months, since August. I picked up the badge. The lamination was smooth, slightly bent from being worn. The lanyard was still attached, scratchy polyester, the kind that leaves a red line on your neck. I never authorized this. We know. Mrs. Brooks submitted the authorization form in August with your signature. I never signed any form authorizing Derek Walsh. Dr. Reeves and Mrs. Chen exchanged glances. We're aware of that now, Dr. Reeves said carefully. I've consulted with our legal counsel. The signature on the authorization form doesn't match your signature on file. We believe it was forged. Forged. My wife forged my signature to give her lover access to my daughter's school. There's more. Pam Rodriguez spoke up. She pulled up something on her computer. Badge access logs. This ID was used for entry and exit 7 times between September and January. Entry and exit meaning what? Pickups, Mr. Brooks. Her voice was soft, apologetic. Derek Walsh picked up Lily from school 7 times, all during school hours. No after-school pickups where other parents might have seen. He'd come around 2:45, sign her out, and leave with her. The room tilted slightly. Where did he take her? According to the sign-out sheets, he indicated doctor's appointment 3 times and early dismissal for family commitment 4 times. We had no reason to question it. His badge showed authorized volunteer. The forms showed parental consent. 7 times. 7 times in 4 months, Derek Walsh had taken my daughter out of school, and I hadn't known. Christina hadn't told me. Lily had been coached not to tell me. Mr. Brooks, Dr. Reeves leaned forward. I want to apologize. Our verification process failed you. We should have required 2 parent confirmation for adding authorized pickups. We're implementing that policy immediately. What about other parents? I asked. My voice sounded distant, mechanical. Does anyone else know about this? No, we're keeping this confidential to protect Lily. But I need to be honest with you. If this becomes public, the school's reputation will be significantly damaged. We have a charter renewal coming up, media scrutiny, parents asking questions about security protocols. She wasn't just apologizing, she was afraid. I'm not interested in destroying your school, Dr. Reeves. I'm interested in protecting my daughter. Of course, absolutely. She looked relieved. We've deactivated Mr. Walsh's badge. He's no longer permitted on school property. If he attempts entry, security will be notified. I looked at the yellow school directory on her desk. STEM Academy Parent Directory 2024-25. Spiral bound. Glossy cover with the robot mascot. Can I see that? She handed it over. I flipped through 60 pages of family contacts, addresses, phone numbers, emergency information. Derek Walsh wasn't listed anywhere. Not as a parent, not as a guardian, not as an emergency contact for any child. He'd fabricated his entire connection to this school. I need copies of everything, I said, with the forged authorization form, the badge access logs, the sign-out sheets, all of it. Of course, I'll have Pam prepare a full report for you. As I stood to leave, Mrs. Chen spoke quietly. Mr. Brooks, Lily's science fair project is due next week. She's been working on butterfly life cycles. If you need help, I'll help her. My voice came out harder than I intended. I'm her father. I'll help her. She nodded, understanding in her eyes. Outside in the parking lot, I sat in my car and called the first attorney on my Google search. Family law, Austin, Texas emergency custody. Victoria Martinez's office was in downtown Austin, 15th floor, glass and steel. She was exactly what I needed. Sharp, pragmatic, no nonsense. 44 years old, 20 years practicing family law, top rated for high asset divorces. Mr. Brooks, she shook my hand firmly. You said on the phone this was urgent. I laid it all out. The permission packets, the Rolex, the apartment deposit, the forged authorization form, the 7 unauthorized pickups, 14 months of systematic deception. She took notes on a yellow legal pad, her pen moving quickly. Do you have documentation? I pulled out my laptop, showed her everything, the school forms, the credit card statements, the badge access logs Dr. Reeves had given me. Victoria studied the credit card statement for a long moment. $12,000 for jewelry, $3,500 for an apartment deposit, both from joint marital accounts. She looked up. In Texas, this is called dissipation of marital assets. Your wife used community property to fund an extramarital affair. We can recover these funds. I don't care about the money. You should, because a judge will care. This demonstrates planning, Mr. Brooks. Your wife wasn't just unfaithful. She was systematically preparing to leave while depleting marital assets to benefit her paramour. Paramour, such an old-fashioned word for someone who stolen my life. What about custody? Tell me about Lily. How's she adjusting? She's 7. She knows something's wrong. Christina left 2 nights ago and hasn't called. Lily keeps asking when mommy's coming home. Has Lily expressed any preference about living arrangements? I thought about her words. I don't really like Mr. Derek, Daddy. He's nice, but he's not you. She wants me, but she loves her mother. This is going to destroy her either way. Victoria's expression softened slightly. Mr. Brooks, I specialize in parental alienation cases. What your wife did, coaching Lily to keep secrets, introducing her paramour into parental roles, forging documents to facilitate this. These are textbook alienation behaviors. A judge will consider that. So I have a chance? You have more than a chance. You have evidence. The question is, how ugly do you want this to get? My phone buzzed. Keisha from work. Hey, heard you're taking some days. Everything okay? Let me know if you need anything. Keisha Washington, my co-worker, friend, single by choice, brilliant architect of Indeed's recommendation algorithms. We'd worked together for 6 years. I texted back, can you meet for coffee later? Need a friendly ear. Mr. Brooks? Victoria pulled me back. I need to know if you're ready for this fight, because once we file for emergency custody, there's no going back. I thought about Derek Walsh's signature on page 3 of that orange permission packet, about Lily asking if she'd done something wrong, about Christina's text, love you, while she was planning to tell Derek's version of our life story after some public gala. File it, I said. Do whatever you need to do to protect my daughter. Good. I'll start preparing the petition. In the meantime, document everything. Every time Christina contacts you, every time she sees Lily, every statement Lily makes, everything. As I left her office, she called after me. Mr. Brooks, your wife spent $12,000 on another man's anniversary present. That tells me she's been treating this like a legitimate relationship for months. People who do that, they're not thinking clearly. They'll make mistakes. Letter. I met Keisha at Mozart's Coffee on Lake Austin, outdoor patio, February in Austin, unseasonably warm, 70 degrees and sunny while my life crumbled. Nathan, she hugged me. You look like hell. Feel like it too. I told her everything. She listened without interrupting, occasionally reaching across the table to squeeze my hand. Jesus, she said when I finished. Christina seemed so... you guys were the couple, the stable ones. When my roommate got divorced, I remember thinking, at least Nathan and Christina are solid. Yeah, turns out solid was just really good lying. What can I do? Tell me I'm not crazy. Tell me I'm not overreacting. Nathan. She leaned forward, intense. She forged your signature on legal documents. She spent 12 grand of your money on her boyfriend. She had him picking up your kid from school without telling you. You're not overreacting. If anything, you're underreacting. I'd have burned her fucking car. I laughed. It sounded broken, but it was something. You know what kills me? I said. I moved here for her, left Seattle, left my family, my friends, everything, because she wanted to build her real estate empire in Austin. And the whole time, I thought we were building it together. You were building it together. She was just building an exit ramp. My phone buzzed. Unknown number. I answered. Nathan Brooks? Male voice. Confident. Entitled. Who's this? Derek Walsh. I think we should talk. My hand tightened on the phone. Keisha mouthed. Who is it? I mouthed back. Him. I have nothing to say to you. Look, I get it. You're pissed. But Christina and I, we're not trying to hurt anyone. We just want to do this right. For Lily's sake. For Lily's sake. Where are you? I asked. Compass Realty office, West 6th. I'm here going over some properties with Christina. We could meet. Clear the air. Man to man. I'll be there in 20 minutes. I hung up. Nathan, don't. Keisha grabbed my arm. Whatever you're thinking, I'm not going to hit him. I'm not my father. I stood up. But he called me. He wants to talk man to man? Let's talk. The Compass Realty parking lot was full of luxury cars, BMWs, Teslas, Mercedes. Derek's was easy to spot. Black BMW 7 Series, vanity plate, DeWalsh. He was leaning against it when I arrived. Tall, fit, expensive suit. And on his wrist, catching the afternoon sun, was that gold Rolex with the green face. My $12,000. Nathan. He extended his hand. I didn't take it. You've got 5 minutes, talk. He dropped his hand, unfazed by the rejection. Look, I know this is awkward, Meg. Awkward is forgetting someone's birthday. This is fraud. This is alienation. Pick better words. Fair enough. He leaned back against his BMW, casual, like we were discussing the weather. I'm not going to apologize for loving Christina. She and I, we have history. College sweethearts. I was an idiot to let her go senior year. When I moved back to Austin, saw her at that alumni thing, it just clicked. What we had back then, it was still there. I don't care about your love story. I care about you signing my daughter's school forms. That. He had the audacity to look sheepish. Yeah, Christina asked me to help out. You're always at work, always busy. Someone needed to be there for Lily. School stuff, doctor's appointments. I never asked you to be there. No, but Christina did. And look, man, I get it. This is your kid. But from where I'm standing, she needs someone who can actually show up. You're a coder, right? Tech guy, long hours, always plugged in. He gestured at his watch, my watch, without irony. I have flexibility. I can pick her up from school, take her to appointments, be present. You think money and availability make you a father. I think Lily deserves better than coming second to your job. Something cold settled in my chest. You don't know anything about my daughter. I know she lights up when I bring her ice cream. I know she showed me her butterfly project before she showed you. I know. Because you were there when I was traveling for work. Because Christina arranged it that way. She coached my daughter to keep you secret from me while systematically replacing me in her life. And you helped. His smile faded slightly. We're trying to build something here, Nathan. A real family. Christina wants more than this small, stable life. She wants excitement, adventure, someone who matches her ambition. She had someone who loved her, who moved across the country for her dreams, who trusted her completely. And she picked me. He checked his Rolex. A power move, deliberate. Face it, she wants a life I can give her. You're just a coder. I'm building her future. I stepped closer. He straightened, defensive instinct kicking in. You know what you are, Derek. You're a coward. You couldn't face me yourself, so you snuck around behind my back. You manipulated a child to facilitate your affair, and you're so entitled, you think wearing my money on your wrist makes you superior. Your money. Christina bought this for me. With funds from our joint account. Technically, I bought half that watch. So every time you check it to feel important, remember, you're wearing evidence. His jaw tightened. Stay away from Lily, I said. Stay away from her school. Stay away from her doctor. Stay away from her life. Because if you don't, I will make it my mission to ensure everyone in Austin knows exactly what kind of man you are. You can't keep me from Christina. I don't want to keep you from Christina. She made her choice. But Lily, she's 7 years old. She didn't choose this. And I'll be damned if I let you keep pretending to be something you're not. I walked away before I did something I'd regret. Behind me, I heard him call out, Christina left your ass for a reason, Nathan. I didn't turn around. But in my car, hands shaking on the steering wheel, I realized something. Derek Walsh wasn't the disease. He was just a symptom. Christina was the one who'd torn our family apart. And that hurt so much worse. That evening, Dad was reading Lily a story when I got home, Charlotte's Web. They were curled up on the couch, Lily in her pajamas, Dad doing voices for each character. I stood in the doorway, watching them. 3 generations. My father had flown down the moment I called. No questions, no hesitation, just immediate support. That's what family looked like. After Lily went to bed, I showed Dad the pink Louis Vuitton handbag Derek had casually handed over. Christina left this at my place. Can you give it to her? The expensive leather smell hit me first, then the weight, heavy, perfectly organized interior. I'd never understood the appeal of $2,000 purses, but Christina had always said they were investment pieces. I opened it. Inside, tucked into a side pocket, a second phone, small, simple, cheap, a burner. I powered it on. 1 contact, D. 9 months of texts, starting last March, the day after that alumni event Christina had mentioned. I scrolled through them, my stomach turning. March 17th, 2024, Christina. I haven't stopped thinking about you, about us, about what could have been. March 19th, 2024, D. Then let's find out. Coffee tomorrow? April 2nd, 2024. Christina, Nathan's at a conference. Can you meet? April 15th, 2024. D. I'm falling for you all over again. May 23rd, 2024. Christina, Lily asked about you today. I told her you were a friend from work. She liked you. That's big. On and on. Months of planning, coordinating around my schedule, using Lily's bedtime routine to determine when they could talk without me noticing. September 3rd, 2024. Christina, I bought you something for our anniversary. 1 year since we reconnected. I love you. September, 1 month before our actual wedding anniversary. November 12th, 2024. Day. When are we telling Nathan? I'm tired of sneaking around. November 13th, 2024. Christina. After the gala, too public for him to make a scene. They'd set a date. The school fundraising gala. 4 weeks from now. 600 Austin elite watching. Media coverage for the charter school. The perfect public reveal where I'd be forced to smile and be civil while my wife announced she was leaving me. Nathan? Dad's voice. What did you find? I handed him the phone. Watched his expression change as he scrolled. She planned this, I said. My voice was hollow. For 9 months, she planned every detail. The forms, the pickups, the apartment, the gala announcement, all of it. Dad set down the phone, pulled me into another hug. I'm so sorry, son. I signed up for forever, Dad. I made vows. I moved to Austin. I supported her career. I was a good husband. My voice cracked. Wasn't I a good husband? You were an excellent husband, but she stopped being a wife somewhere along the way. What do I tell Lily? The truth. Age appropriate, but the truth. She deserves that. She's 7. How do I explain that Mommy... I couldn't finish. You'll find the words. Because you love her, and love finds a way. The next morning, Lily came into my room early. She'd been doing that since Christina left, crawling into bed with me, asking questions in that careful way kids do when they're afraid of the answers. Daddy, is Mommy coming back? I pulled her close. She smelled like strawberry shampoo. She was wearing her favorite purple pajamas, the ones with the unicorns. I don't know yet, baby. Mommy and I are figuring some things out. Is it because of Mr. Derek? My heart stopped. What makes you say that? Emma's mommy left because she had a new friend, and then Emma's daddy was really sad. Are you sad, Daddy? I thought about lying, protecting her. But Dad was right. She deserved truth. Yeah, baby, I'm sad. But not because of you. You're the best thing that ever happened to me. Emma said her daddy cried a lot. Do you cry? Sometimes? It's okay if you cry, Daddy. Miss Rachel says crying is how our body lets out the sad. I held her tighter. Lily, can I ask you something? Do you have a journal? Something where you write down your thoughts? My purple unicorn journal. Grandma gave it to me for Christmas. It has a lock and everything. Would you show it to Daddy? She looked uncertain. It's private. I know, and normally I would never ask, but I'm trying to understand some things, and I think your journal might help me. You don't have to. It's your choice. She thought about it, then nodded. Okay, because you're sad, and I want to help. She ran to her room and came back with it. Purple hardcover, glittery unicorn prancing across the front. Sparkles transferred to my fingertips when I touched it. The lock was tiny brass, the key the size of my pinky fingernail. Can you open it for me? She unlocked it carefully. The pages had a faint floral scent. Inside, her careful second-grade handwriting. Purple ink. Always purple. January 15th, 2025. I don't like when Mommy brings Mr. Derek to my school. The other kids ask if he's my new dad. He's not. Daddy is my daddy. January 22nd, 2025, I told Mommy I don't want Mr. Derek at my birthday party. She said I'm being rude, but he's not my family. Daddy is my family. January 30th, 2025. Mr. Derek picked me up from school again. I asked where Mommy was. He said she was busy with work. I wanted Daddy to pick me up, but Daddy was at work too. Nobody asked me what I wanted. February 3rd, 2025. Emma asked if my parents are getting divorced. I said no, but I don't know. Mommy and Daddy don't smile at each other anymore. 4 months of entries. 4 months of my daughter documenting her discomfort, her confusion, her attempts to tell Christina she didn't want Derek around, and Christina had ignored her. Lily watched me read. Am I in trouble? No, baby, no. You're not in trouble at all. I pulled her onto my lap. You were so brave to write this down, to tell Mommy how you felt. She didn't listen. I know, and that wasn't right. But I'm listening now. I hear you. And I promise nobody's going to make you do anything you don't want to do. Like see Mr. Derek? Like see Mr. Derek. She relaxed against me. Good, because I don't like him. He's nice, but he tries too hard, like he wants me to like him more than I like you. And that's weird. Out of the mouths of babes. Lily, can I ask you something else? And you can be totally honest, okay? No wrong answers. Okay. If Mommy and Daddy, if we can't live together anymore, would you be okay living with Daddy most of the time? You'd still see Mommy, but your main home would be here with me. Her eyes got wide. Are you and Mommy getting divorced? And there it was, the question I'd been dreading. I thought about lying. about waiting until after the custody hearing like Victoria suggested. But Lily deserved better than that. She'd been living with secrets and half-truths for months. I wouldn't add to it. I think we might be, baby. Mommy made some choices that hurt our family. And sometimes when people hurt each other really badly, they can't stay married anymore. Like Emma's parents? Yeah, like that. Her lip trembled. Did I do something wrong? And that's when I broke. No. I held her face in my hands. No, baby. Listen to me. This is not your fault. Not even a little bit. You are perfect. You are wonderful. You are exactly who you're supposed to be. Mommy and Daddy's problems are grown-up problems that have nothing to do with you. Then why is Mommy gone? Because Mommy has some things she needs to figure out about what she wants and who she wants to be. Does she still want to be my mommy? God, that question. Yes, she'll always be your mommy, but she might not be my wife anymore, and that's okay. Because you know what doesn't change? Me. I'm your daddy forever. Nothing can change that. Not paperwork, not arguments, not anything. I will always, always be here. She threw her arms around my neck and cried, and I held her while she sobbed, her 7-year-old heart breaking over something she didn't cause and couldn't fix. Dad appeared in the doorway. He'd heard everything. He didn't say anything, just came and sat with us, one hand on my shoulder, the other stroking Lily's hair. 3 generations, holding together what Christina had tried to break apart. If you've ever had to explain divorce to a child, you know there's no good way to do it. You know that no matter how carefully you choose your words, you're still stealing their innocence, still teaching them that love can fail, that promises can break, that families can shatter. If you were Nathan in that moment, your 7-year-old daughter asking if her parents are getting divorced, would you tell her the full truth now? Give her the honest explanation she deserves. Type honest in the comments. Or wait until after the custody hearing, protect her a little longer from the full reality. Type wait. What would you do? Both choices hurt. Both choices have consequences. There's no perfect answer here. Whatever you chose, you're thinking about what's best for the child. That's what I was thinking too. Here's what I decided. I told her the truth. Not all of it. She didn't need to know about affair details or forged signatures. But the essential truth, Mommy and Daddy were separating. She would be safe. She would be loved. And nothing was her fault. Sometimes honesty is the only kindness left. That night, after Lily finally fell asleep clutching Mr. Snuggles, I sat in the living room with Dad. He'd brought that cedar frame with him, the one with blue bonnets carved in the corners. Inside was a photo from last summer, 3 of us at Zilker Park. Dad's arm around my shoulder, my arm around Lily, all of us laughing. "Put this in her room," he said, "so she remembers what family looks like." I took the frame. The wood smelled like his workshop, like sawdust and certainty and 50 years of building things with his hands. "I'm scared, Dad." "I know." What if she chooses Christina? What if the judge says Lily should be with her mother? What if... Nathan, he gripped my shoulder, you've documented everything. You have evidence. You have Lily's own words in that journal. And more importantly, you have the truth. Trust the process. The process failed me at the school. They gave Derek a badge for 6 months. Then the legal process won't. Victoria Martinez doesn't lose cases like this. You told me she specializes in parental alienation. She knows what she's doing. I wanted to believe him, but sitting there, holding that frame with its image of happier times, all I could think about was Lily's question. Did I do something wrong? My daughter thought she'd caused her own abandonment, thought she wasn't good enough to make her mother stay, thought maybe if she'd been less rude to Mr. Derek, her family would still be intact. Christina had done that. Not with malice, maybe, but with selfishness, with choices that prioritized her happiness over our daughter's security. And that's what finally transformed my grief into resolve. I wasn't fighting for my marriage anymore. That was over. Dead. I was fighting for my daughter. To show her that love doesn't abandon, that promises matter, that when someone hurts you, you stand up, you document, you fight back with truth instead of lies. Christina had taught her that families keep secrets. I'd teach her that families keep showing up. The emergency custody hearing was scheduled for February 18th, 2 weeks after Christina left, 2 weeks of documentation, 2 weeks of Lily asking when mommy would call. Christina never called. Victoria filed the petition with everything: the forged authorization form, the badge access logs, the bank statements showing dissipation of marital assets, the burner phone texts, and, most damaging, Lily's purple journal. "The journal is key," Victoria said during our prep session. "It's your daughter's voice, uncoached, documenting her discomfort for months. A judge will find that compelling." Christina's going to lose it when she sees we're using Lily's private journal. Good, let her be angry. Angry people make mistakes in court. The Travis County Family Court was everything I'd imagined and worse. Fluorescent lights, beige walls, the smell of stress and broken families, people waiting on benches looking hollow. Christina was there with her attorney. She'd lost weight, dark circles under her eyes. She wouldn't look at me when I walked in. Derek was in the gallery, wearing that Rolex, the audacity. The judge was Honorable Patricia Morrison. 60-something, gray hair pulled back, reading glasses on a chain. She'd been on the bench for 20 years, Victoria said, fair but tough, protective of children's rights. "All rise." We stood. Judge Morrison settled into her chair, opened the file in front of her. It was thick, blue folder, all the evidence Victoria had compiled. "We're here for an emergency custody modification petition. Brooks versus Brooks." She looked at both attorneys. "This is preliminary. I'll hear arguments, review evidence, and determine if emergency orders are warranted. Ms. Martinez, you filed. Proceed." Victoria stood. She was wearing a navy suit, her hair pulled back. Professional, authoritative. "Your Honor, my client Nathan Brooks is seeking emergency primary custody of his 7-year-old daughter, Lily Brooks, based on the mother's pattern of deception, fraud, and parental alienation spanning 14 months. Christina's attorney, Richard Keller, expensive divorce lawyer from Westlake Hills, stood immediately. "Your Honor, these allegations are inflammatory, and you'll have your turn, Mr. Keller." Judge Morrison's voice was sharp. "Ms. Martinez, evidence?" Victoria presented it methodically, each piece building on the last. The permission packets with Derek's signature, the forged authorization form from STEM Academy, the badge access logs showing 7 unauthorized pickups, the bank statements showing $12,000 for Derek's Rolex and $3,500 for an apartment deposit. "This demonstrates systematic planning, Your Honor. Mrs. Brooks didn't just have an affair, she actively integrated her paramour into parental roles without Mr. Brooks' knowledge or consent, forged legal documents to facilitate this integration, and depleted marital assets to fund the relationship." Judge Morrison studied the documents. Her expression was unreadable. "Mr. Keller, response?" Christina's attorney stood. "Your Honor, my client acknowledges that mistakes were made. She became emotionally involved with Mr. Walsh, an old college friend. But characterizing this as parental alienation is extreme. Mrs. Brooks never intended to replace Mr. Brooks as Lily's father. Mr. Walsh was simply helping with childcare during times when Mr. Brooks was unavailable due to his demanding career." "By forging Mr. Brooks' signature on school authorization forms?" Judge Morrison's eyebrow rose. "That's your defense?" Keller faltered. "The signature issue was a misunderstanding. A misunderstanding that gave an unauthorized person access to pick up a minor child from school 7 times without the biological father's knowledge. Continue carefully, Mr. Keller." I watched Christina's face go pale. Victoria pressed the advantage. Your Honor, I'd like to enter into evidence the minor child's personal journal, entries spanning 4 months documenting her discomfort with Mr. Walsh's presence and her repeated requests to her mother to stop bringing him to school events. She handed up the purple journal. The unicorn cover looked incongruous in the austere courtroom. Judge Morrison took it. This is the child's private journal? Yes, Your Honor, provided voluntarily by the child to her father. We've marked relevant entries. The judge read silently. The courtroom was quiet. I could hear the clock ticking, Christina shifting in her seat, Derek breathing heavily in the gallery behind us. When Judge Morrison looked up, her expression had changed. Not anger, exactly, but something cold and final. January 15th, quote, I don't like when Mommy brings Mr. Derek to my school. The other kids ask if he's my new dad. He's not. Daddy is my daddy. She looked at Christina over her reading glasses. January 22nd. I told Mommy I don't want Mr. Derek at my birthday party. She said I'm being rude. Christina was crying now, silent tears. Ms. Brooks, you forged your husband's signature on school authorization forms, spent $12,000 of marital funds on a gift for your paramour, and ignored your daughter's documented distress for 4 months. The judge's voice was measured, controlled, but I heard the anger underneath. This court is deeply troubled by your actions. Your Honor, Keller tried again, my client is willing to participate in counseling. Your client needs more than counseling, Mr. Keller. She needs to understand that parental authority is not something to be forged, transferred, or delegated to romantic partners without legal process. Judge Morrison closed the journal carefully, set it aside like it was precious, because it was. It was my daughter's heart written in purple ink. Here's what's going to happen, the judge said. Emergency temporary orders. Mr. Brooks is granted primary physical custody. Mrs. Brooks will have supervised visitation 2 hours per week, to be supervised by a court-approved monitor. Both parties will undergo custody evaluation. Mrs. Brooks will complete a parenting course focused on appropriate boundaries. And Mr. Derek Walsh... She looked at Derek in the gallery. He straightened, suddenly aware he was being addressed. Is hereby prohibited from any contact with the minor child. No school property, no events, no indirect contact through Mrs. Brooks during her visitation. If you violate this order, Mr. Walsh, you will be held in contempt. Am I clear? Yes, Your Honor. His voice was smaller now, no swagger. Mrs. Brooks, you will also reimburse the marital estate $12,000 plus the apartment deposit of $3,500. If these funds are not reimbursed within 90 days, Mr. Brooks may pursue civil remedies. Finally, I'm ordering you to have no contact with Lily outside supervised visitation until the custody evaluation is complete. Do you understand? Christina nodded, still crying. Verbal response, Ms. Brooks. Yes, Your Honor, I understand. Good. Custody evaluation will be completed within 30 days. We'll reconvene after the evaluator's report. She looked at me. Mr. Brooks, I want to be clear. This is temporary. The evaluation will determine long-term custody. But based on what I've seen today, you should feel confident that this court takes parental fraud very seriously. Thank you, Your Honor. As we left the courtroom, Christina's attorney stopped us in the hallway. Mr. Brooks, my client would like to discuss the visitation schedule. Through our attorneys, I said. She's asking if the 2 hours could be increased. She's lucky she got 2 hours. Tell Ms. Brooks that if she wants more time with her daughter, she should start by calling her. Lily hasn't heard from her mother in 2 weeks. I walked away before he could respond. Outside, Dad was waiting with Lily. I'd left her with him rather than bring her to court. She ran up when she saw me. Daddy, did you win? I picked her up. She was getting too big for this, but I didn't care. Yeah, baby, we won. Does that mean I get to stay with you? Yeah, you get to stay with me. She hugged me tight. Good. I don't want to live anywhere else. Over her shoulder, I saw Derek exit the courthouse. He looked at us, at me holding my daughter, at Dad standing protective beside us, and something in his expression cracked. Not remorse, just defeat. The watch on his wrist caught the sun. My $12,000. He turned and walked to his BMW without a word. The custody evaluator was Dr. Sarah Chen, PhD in child psychology, 20 years evaluating families for the courts. She interviewed me first, then Christina, then Lily alone in a room designed to make kids comfortable. Toys, books, soft lighting. 2 weeks later, Victoria called. The report's in. You need to see this. We met at her office. She handed me the blue folder. Family court. Custody evaluation. Printed on the tab. The cardboard was stiff, the metal clasp making a clicking sound when I opened it. Inside was Dr. Chen's report. 30 pages. I skipped to the section labeled Minor Child Interview. Lily Brooks, age 7, was interviewed on March 3rd, 2025. She was cooperative, articulate, and age-appropriately forthcoming. When asked about her living preferences, Lily stated, I want to live with Daddy. Mommy is nice, but she's always busy with Mr. Derek. Daddy makes me breakfast and helps with my homework and reads to me. Daddy shows up. When asked about Derek Walsh, Lily stated, he's nice, but I don't want him to be my dad. I already have a dad. Mommy says I can have 2 daddies, but I don't want 2. I want my daddy. When asked if she felt safe with her father, Lily stated, yes, always. Daddy would never leave me. I had to stop reading. The words blurred. Victoria's voice was gentle. Keep going. The conclusion is important. I found the section labeled Evaluator's Recommendations. Based on interviews, home visits, and review of evidence, this evaluator recommends primary physical custody be awarded to Nathan Brooks. While Christina Brooks demonstrated appropriate parenting skills during supervised interactions, her pattern of introducing a romantic partner into parental roles without the child's consent, ignoring the child's stated preferences, and forging legal documents demonstrates poor judgment and prioritization of adult relationships over child welfare. Lily Brooks is not confused about parentage despite ongoing attempts to integrate Mr. Walsh into a parental role. She has consistently expressed preference for stability with her father. Mother's dismissal of child's stated preferences raises concerns about her ability to prioritize Lily's emotional needs over her own romantic relationship. Recommendation: primary custody to father with standard visitation to mother once parenting course is completed. No contact between minor and Mr. Walsh until child reaches age of majority and can make informed decisions about relationships. She quoted Lily's exact words. I said, I don't want 2 daddies. I want my daddy. Judges listen to kids, Nathan, especially 7-year-olds who can articulate their feelings clearly. Lily knew who her father was the whole time. Christina's attempts at replacement failed. When's the final hearing? 3 weeks. But based on this report, it's over. You won. The final custody hearing was March 24th. Judge Morrison reviewed Dr. Chen's report, asked a few clarifying questions, and then rendered her decision. Mr. Brooks is awarded primary physical custody. Mrs. Brooks will have standard visitation, alternating weekends, and 1 evening per week once the parenting course is completed. The restraining order against Mr. Walsh remains in effect. Mrs. Brooks is ordered to reimburse the marital estate $15,500 within 90 days. She looked at Christina. Ms. Brooks, I hope you understand that your decisions had consequences, not just for your marriage, but for your daughter. Lily deserves parents who put her first. I trust you'll remember that moving forward. Christina nodded. She looked broken. Smaller, somehow. As we left the courthouse, her attorney approached again. Mr. Brooks, my client is asking if you consider reducing the visitation schedule. She says adjusting to the new arrangement has been difficult for her and Mr. Walsh. I stopped walking. I'm sorry, what? The standard visitation schedule, every other weekend. Mrs. Brooks is asking if you'd consider reducing it to once monthly. Let me get this straight. Christina fought for custody, lost, and now she wants less time with her daughter? Keller looked uncomfortable. Her new living situation with Mr. Walsh, it's complicated. Derek didn't sign up for a ready-made family after all. I laughed. It sounded bitter. Tell Christina she gets what the judge ordered. If she chooses not to use her visitation time, that's on her. But I'm not going to explain to Lily why Mommy doesn't want to see her more. Mr. Brooks, we're done here. Dad squeezed my shoulder as we walked away. You broke the cycle, son. Your daughter will never wonder if her father fought for her. 6 months later, life had found a rhythm. Lily thrived. Her grades were excellent. She'd made new friends. She talked about becoming a scientist when she grew up. Christina used about 60% of her visitation time. Derek had moved on, literally. Relocated to Dallas for a business opportunity. The Rolex went with him. Christina seemed smaller without him, sadder. But she was trying, slowly rebuilding her relationship with Lily. I didn't hate her anymore. Mostly I felt sorry for her. She'd traded a family for a fantasy, and the fantasy hadn't delivered. One afternoon, I got an email from Dr. Reeves at STEM Academy. Subject, Family Integrity Policy Implementation. Mr. Brooks, I wanted to update you on the changes we've implemented following the incident with Mr. Walsh. STEM Academy now requires 2 parent signature verification for all authorization forms involving school access, pickup privileges, and emergency contacts. Both parents must appear in person with photo ID to add any non-parental authorized adults. We're calling it the Family Integrity Policy. While we can't use your name due to privacy regulations, please know that your case has already prevented 2 similar situations. Other parents attempting to add unauthorized partners were flagged by our new protocols. Thank you for speaking up. Your courage protected not just Lily, but other children as well. Dr. Monica Reeves, Principal, STEM Academy of Austin. I read it twice, then saved it in a folder I'd created, Evidence of Something Good. Sometimes you break apart so others don't have to. Sometimes your worst day becomes someone else's protection. The gala happened without us. Christina and Derek had planned to debut there as a couple in front of 600 Austin elite. Instead, I heard from Keisha that Christina attended alone, left early, and the event raised a record amount for the school. Life moved on, as it does. Daddy, can you help me with my science fair project? It was a Saturday morning in August, 6 months after the final custody hearing. Lily was at the kitchen table, her green science fair binder open in front of her, the same binder that had once held photos of Derek at her butterfly project. Now it was blank. New project, new start. What's your topic this year? Miss Rachel said we could pick anything. I was thinking maybe something about families? I sat down next to her. Families, that's broad. What about families? She bit her lip, thinking, like, what makes a real family? Not just who you're related to, but who actually shows up. My throat tightened. That's a great topic, baby. Can we make it a hypothesis, like science? She was excited now, purple marker in hand, like, a real family is people who show up every day. That's perfect. We worked on it together, building the display board, gathering research. Lily interviewed her classmates about their families, traditional ones, divorced ones, adopted ones, foster ones, found families. Emma says her stepdad is more of a dad than her real dad, Lily reported, because her real dad lives far away and only calls sometimes, but her stepdad drives her to soccer and helps with homework. So he's the real dad, even though he's not related. What do you think about that? I think Emma's right. Being related doesn't make you family. Showing up makes you family. She wrote that in purple marker on her display board. Careful second grade handwriting, bigger now than it had been 6 months ago. Growing up too fast. On her desk, visible from where we worked, was Grandpa Robert's frame, the cedar one with bluebonnets, the photo of 3 generations at Zilker Park. He visited every month now, flying down from Seattle, taking Lily to museums, teaching her to carve wood like he'd taught me. That was family, not signatures on permission packets, not expensive watches or luxury apartments, just consistent presence, month after month, showing up. I think we need pictures for the board, Lily said. Can we take some of our family? Sure, baby. What did you have in mind? Well, there's you and me, and Grandpa Robert, and Miss Keisha. She's like family, right? She comes to my birthday parties and brings me books. Yeah, she's definitely family. And Miss Rachel helped you when Mommy left, so she's family too. I hadn't realized Lily understood that. But kids see more than we think. What about Mommy? I asked carefully. Lily thought about it. Mommy's family, but she's different now. Like she's my mom, but she's not always there. Not like you. That's okay. People can be family even if they're not around as much. The important thing is you know who you can count on. She nodded, started drawing figures on her board, stick figures holding hands. Above them, in purple marker, my real family. The first figure was labeled Daddy. The second was me, then Grandpa Robert, then Keisha, then Miss Rachel. At the end, smaller, was a figure labeled Mommy. It hurt to see it, but it was honest. It was Lily's truth, drawn in purple marker with careful honesty. What do you think? She asked. I think it's perfect. Nathan and Lily redefined what family means. Not who you're born to, not who signs forms, but who shows up. Every single day. If you've built your own chosen family, friends who became siblings, mentors who became parents, communities that became home, tell me about them in the comments. I want to hear your stories of redefined family. And if this story moved you, if Nathan and Lily's journey resonated, subscribe. I tell stories about resilience, about redefining family on your own terms, about the legal battles that protect children. I'll see you in the next one. Stew. We finished the display board that afternoon. Lily's hypothesis in big purple letters. A real family is people who show up every day. Below it, her research, her interviews, her conclusion, family isn't just biology. Family is choice and presence and love that doesn't quit. At the bottom, she'd written in smaller letters, dedicated to my daddy, who always shows up. I had to leave the room for a minute, stood in the hallway, hand over my mouth, trying not to cry. When I came back, Lily was adding final touches, glitter around the border, stars and hearts, making it beautiful. You know what the best part is, Daddy? What's that, baby? I used to think families were supposed to look a certain way, Mommy and Daddy and kid all living together. But now I know families can look lots of different ways, and that's okay, because what matters isn't how they look, it's how they feel. How does our family feel? She smiled. That gap-toothed smile that lit up my world. Safe. Our family feels safe. Safe. After everything, the betrayal, the court battles, the tears, the fear, my daughter felt safe. That's all I'd wanted. That's all I'd fought for. I'm proud of you, Lily. This project is incredible. You helped. We make a good team. The best team. She hugged me, then pulled back, suddenly serious. Daddy, can I ask you something? Always. Do you still love Mommy? I thought about how to answer. Honesty, but age appropriate. I love who Mommy was, who I thought she was, but people change sometimes, and when they change in ways that hurt us, we have to protect ourselves. I'll always care about Mommy because she gave me you, but the kind of love we had, that ended when she made choices that broke our trust. That makes sense. She went back to her glitter. Then, casually, I think you should date Miss Keisha. I laughed. Oh, really? She's pretty, and she makes you smile, and she brings good snacks. Those are all excellent reasons, but Daddy's not thinking about dating right now. Right now, I'm focused on being your dad. Okay, but maybe later? Maybe later. She nodded, satisfied, and went back to decorating. I watched her work. This resilient, wise beyond her years, purple marker wielding little scientist. This girl who'd survived her parents' divorce with grace and honesty. This girl who documented her discomfort in a journal, spoken her truth to a custody evaluator, and came out the other side knowing exactly who her family was. I signed up for forever when I married Christina. That's what vows mean. Till death do us part. I thought forever meant the marriage. But I was wrong. Forever wasn't the marriage. Forever was Lily. I signed up for forever with her the moment she was born. That's the promise I'd never break. Not for careers, not for romantic relationships, not for anything. Christina signed me away without asking, signed another man's name on the line that said father. But signatures don't make you a parent. Showing up does. And I'd show up for Lily every day for the rest of my life. That was forever. That was the promise that mattered. Daddy, look. Lily held up her completed display board, purple and sparkly and honest and beautiful. It's done. It's perfect, baby. Do you think I'll win? I think you've already won. You figured out what real family means. That's bigger than any blue ribbon. She grinned and hugged me again. Through the window, I could see late summer Austin sun, cedar pollen making everything golden, the kind of day that makes you believe in new beginnings. Lily's journal sat on her desk next to Grandpa's frame, the purple unicorn cover, still locked, still private, but now filled with happier entries. Entries about daddy-daughter time, about science projects and Sunday pancakes, about feeling safe. Outside, a butterfly landed on the window screen, monarch, orange and black. Look, Daddy, a butterfly. Just like your old science fair project. Yeah, but you know what's cool? Butterflies have to break out of their chrysalis to become beautiful, like they have to struggle. If you help them, they die. They need the struggle to get strong enough to fly. That's pretty profound, Lily. Miss Rachel taught us that. She watched the butterfly through the glass. I think maybe we're like butterflies. We had to break out of something that wasn't working anymore, and now we're stronger, ready to fly. 7 years old, and she understood transformation better than most adults. You're going to change the world someday, you know that? I know. She said it without arrogance, just confidence. But first, I'm going to win the science fair. That's my girl. The butterfly flew away. Lily went back to her project, humming some song from school, and I sat there in the Austin sun, in the house I'd kept, with the daughter I'd protected, surrounded by the family we'd rebuilt from broken pieces. This was what winning looked like. Not perfect, not what I'd planned, not the happily ever after I'd imagined when I married Christina 8 years ago, but real, honest, safe. And sometimes that's better than perfect. Sometimes that's everything.